For each of you, what has it been like to be part of an IP from the ground up? Has it been exciting? Has it been daunting? What has that experience been like?
It's been both of those things.
Exactly that.
Exciting, daunting. Yeah, of course, we have a couple of characters that in which we couldn't really identify because it's a world in space, right? And so, but the story mimics very much our reality.
I feel like it's cool because there's so much discovery with it. You know, like even being on set, you read ship on the page, and then you get to go and see it that Zack's made a model of when you're there. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, I think we had a similar question. I think I'll say the same thing I said last time. It is as equally exciting as it is daunting, because on one side, we're all spectators and fans. That's why we love what we do. It's why we invest in what we do as much as we do. And it's really like a childlike nostalgic dream come true to live in these worlds that are larger than life, and instead of escaping into them as a spectator, to now be privileged enough to escape into them as artists. But yeah, I think it's when you have someone like Zack who has such a clear vision of what he wants and still an openness to collaborate and give us the freedom to discover what this character means for ourselves, you forget about the daunting aspects and you just lean into the exciting aspects and have a lot of fun.
I'm always really interested to learn about the process of creating characters. I'm somebody who likes to create playlists when I have characters and like build them up from that. But were there any real life figures or maybe historical figures or maybe characters from other properties or songs that really resonated with each of you as you were building your characters and finding their voice?
Well, Djimon's coming out with an album, speaking of songs, so maybe he can take that. No, what I would say is music definitely is very evocative, I think, for all of us, but there were definitely songs that helped me access, I won't say them because they're mine, if that makes sense, but songs that made me access, necessary emotions that were really, really conducive to getting the performance how I wanted to. But there was something I said, not songs, what else you said inspired the character? You said...
maybe like historical figures or characters from other properties, or touchstones.
For me specifically, I wouldn't say there was that kind of historical figure. However, because I am part Indian and Tarek himself is, the Samandrite kind of quality, connected to birds, connected to earth. I saw these kind of interesting parallels between that. I wanted to play a level of empathy and kind of stillness that comes from some kind of connection to something greater than yourself, a kind of more of a hopeful salt of the earth kind of aspect, which was loads of fun, and also nobility, right? It's for me that was, I looked at it to be like, where did energy centers at Chekhov? Who did energy centers? I forget. It's like, where does your energy center come from? And nobility. There's something about the posture and how we stand, and how does that inform the character? So it was really fun to play around with that. I waffled. Sorry.
I love that. Djimon, Elise, do you have any?
Yes, I do. I would. In respect to Rebel Moon, I would, and character of General Titus, I would reference that with the makeup of Nelson Mandela.
Really?
For
Yes.
example, right? Somebody who spent a quarter of a century in jail and still come out with so much wisdom, political wisdom, right?
And hope as well, right?
And hope. He reinstored hope in the minds of the people.
Like you did in
and
us.
Not just that nation, but worldwide. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, Zack has talked about Percival being a character reference. And I think that was a big influence for me, the sort of youthful warrior, And then there were a couple of anime references for me, actually, with characters that I felt...
love that so much.
Yeah.
I love that. So as my last question for you, if we get a third film, which I'm hopeful with the way this one ends, are there any aspects of your characters, dynamics with other characters that you hope to see more of, or maybe something from their past that you hope we'll get to explore more on screen?
I think I'd love to see all of our redemption stories kind of progress. We've Kora here finds a level of redemption by understanding that she wasn't actually the murderer of the same person she chose to protect. And, I would love to see us get our versions of that. It'd be great if it was like movie by movie, we go back to our own planets and liberate whatever, our own people in whatever way, if our worlds even exist. I forget to remember which worlds are destroyed and which ones are just captured, but that would be wonderful. And part 2 really glimpses into the interpersonal relationships, which was so much fun to kind of develop, and I really hope to see more of that, because we just get to put more of ourselves and our relationships into it, which is just beautiful. And I think that's what people come for, the action, and come for the beauty of it, but they stay for the characters and they stay for the relationships. So I would love to see more of that, all of it. Yeah.
I agree with you on that front. Absolutely. Well, do either of you have answers for that as well? Or
I just want to see what other planets are in this galaxy.
Yeah. I just want to keep exploring.
Well, I just want to see how General Titus evolves in redeeming fashion. Because again, how was he able to, the likelihood that he personally was at the receiving end of committing a number of atrocities. I think that's a trauma, and that's a hunting trauma, and it would be nice to see that.
It would be interesting to see, because obviously, I won't speak for your character, but I feel like the alcoholism was a way of masking, and you said escaping the sobriety and what came with the sobriety, and obviously there's a level of us coming together giving you enough strength or purpose to stop drinking. But I think you're right, it'd be very interesting to see where that clarity takes you. When you haven't got something to fight for, when it's safe for a week, what then happens? Yeah. How do you then face those demons and traumas, and how do they come up? I think you're very right. I'd love to see that too. Spin-off.
Yeah,
there you go. We have the idea there. Thank you all so much. I really enjoyed this, and I can't wait for everybody to see Rebel Moon Part 2.
Thank you.